Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the zoo. I'm your zookeeper for tonight, Inquisitor. Minions joining me are Eeyore.
Evening.
Mr. Adam.
Evening.
And traveling exhibit Hate Camel.
How's it going?
It's going. So before we started here, we were, I guess, part of a fairly heated discussion about gun safety, especially on movie sets. And I'm sorry, Adam, I don't see it from your perspective. You do have to, every time you have a gun in your hand, whether or not it was, you can trust the person that gave it to you, you check it.
Well, can we back up for the sake of chat and say what started this heated discussion? It was me. I take full responsibility.
Fucking get him out of here! Get him out of here!
The reason why is because I saw the AP post a story like 6 minutes. Well, 6 minutes before I brought it up to the rest of the guys. I don't know how long it was now. But they said that assistant director of Baldwin Film fired for 2019 mishap. Apparently, he had been let go from a film where they had a gun go off and wound a member of the crew.
It's called a negligent discharge.
Yes. So, here it is. The assistant director who handed Alec Baldwin the gun that killed a cinematographer last week had been fired from a previous job for another safety blunder, a producer says. There, too, a gun went off, slightly wounding a member of the film crew. So, this is the person who handed the gun to Alec Baldwin and told him it was a cold, meaning no live rounds, gun. Adam, I think, do you want to let folks know what you were the point you were trying to make to us before we went live?
Yeah. Just the simple fact that I think a lot of people are being a little overblown with the every time you're handed a firearm, you have to like it's just especially because I'm talking within the context of this is a movie set. Now, granted, I will give you that he is a producer, like we had talked about, so he should have knowledge that there was a walk-off, that there's discrepancies with the union, so they had to hire somebody, and that this person that they hired, whether he did it for money saving or time saving or whatever, they found somebody who was obviously ill-equipped to do this job, and it resulted in the deaths. What I'm saying is, I'm sorry, I find it incredibly ridiculous, especially like I said, we talked about Tim Pool's take on it, where he even buffed it up to, if you're driving a car, that you personally, the actor, should go and inspect the car before he drives it. I think that's ridiculous.
And I just love how Tim Pool is trying so hard to be controversial.
Well, I mean, look, or like when he said, if it was a fake gun, like I wouldn't sit there, and, like I said earlier, if I was handed a gun from Starship Troopers, I wouldn't sit there and go over it and make sure that it's not loaded and that it's, not going to hurt anybody. And I'm certainly not going to sit there and act like I'm not going to fucking waft it around. It's a it's fake. Like if somebody hands me a wooden gun, I'm not going to sit there and treat it like it's a real gun. And I get it. This was a real gun.
Adam,
However,
do you think that the ridiculous wrist gauntlet guns in the Suicide Squad that Will Smith wore, do you think those were real guns?
Obviously, it had the capability of firing blanks, or
obviously it had the capability of firing real bullets. It was a straight up Glock 19, just strapped to a wrist.
Speaking of Will Smith, did you see the video that was going around Twitter the other day of Will Smith? I guess they were showing them the guns for a movie that he was going to do. It may have been Suicide Squad for all I know. I have no idea what movie it's from. Yeah. But somebody picks up a pistol, and as they're lifting it up, like they're about to flag Will with it, and you see like they slow-mo in on his face, his eyes just kind of side-eyeing him. And as soon as that gun starts to get pointed towards him, he just slaps it down from the person's hand, takes it from him, drops the mag, checks the chamber, everything.
I would have expected that from someone like, Keanu Reeves.
Well, him too, yeah, definitely. Especially with all that training he's done at Terran Tactical for the John Wick movies.
Well, yeah, I would
actually a competitive shooter.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Like, he didn't get into guns until he did Street Kings. It wasn't until he started doing the training for that movie that he's like, oh wow, 'cause, like I think he even said it like in behind the scenes kind of thing. He's like, yeah, I was like kind of a hippie, like, oh man, guns are bad, and then like started doing this movie. It's like, this is actually pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, they are.
That's why, like, if you know somebody who's totally against guns, and ask them, like, have you ever shot one? No.
Want to?
Come out to the range with me one day. Just try it. Like, that was probably one of the most fun days I've had in I don't know how long. Was the first time I shot just a breech loading shotgun. Just that boom, and seeing like a pizza box explode.
Last shotgun I shot was my buddy's 12 gauge automatic shotgun.
Yeah,
no pumping required.
First time I'd ever handled a firearm, and the giant shit-eating grin I had on my face after I pulled that trigger the first time. Oh my god.
Okay, so I've got a friend. She's not really necessarily one of those hippie kinds, but she definitely didn't grow up around guns. Her parents didn't own any guns or believe in guns or any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, they are very real. Trust me.
In spite of in spite of her dad being this biker guy, she had never fired a gun. Okay.
My mom was the same way. I couldn't even get a BB gun as a kid.
We went to Iowa for a 4th of July weekend trip sort of thing, right? It was us and a whole bunch of our friends going out to another friend's parents' place They have 2 houses on a property, so we had essentially like a whole guest house, not a guest room. So we go out there, but I bring my 9mm along with, and we set up the target, and I load the gun, and I teach her all of the intricacies of how to operate the thing, right? And I hand it over to her. She fires 1 shot and shakily gives me the gun back and says, "Yeah, I think you need to finish it off." I'm like, "Okay, just watch me, and we'll see how you feel after that." And I empty the mag, I eject the magazine and load in another, and I say, "Do you want to try it again?" She didn't give me my gun back the entire trip.
Now, I'm sorry. I was typing in a joke in chat. What kind of gun was this again?
9mm.
Oh, just standard 9mm. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It's a TZ-99. It's a South African Sig Sauer, essentially.
Oh, Doku, it's not. That's a joke from a movie. It's a Johnny Dangerously. Sorry. I wasn't even aware that was a thing. It's not. All right.
I just have this goofy image of somebody checking a gun, making sure that it's completely empty and safe, giving it to somebody else, and then they go through the same fucking motion because you did. It's the fucking tenement. It's like saying a prayer over your fucking food. Get the fuck out of here.
All I'm saying, Adam, is that if it's done right in front of you, yeah, sure, go ham. But
okay. Wait, hold on. So the difference being is you didn't see it get checked?
Yes.
So again,
the problem was
I don't trust anyone with a gun, Adam.
Exactly.
Why do you trust someone with a gun?
I wouldn't be fucking if it was a gun that was left on a counter. Yeah, I wouldn't be fucking flashing it around, dude. Like nobody's saying that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about actor Alec Baldwin who was given a gun to use in a fucking movie.
I think the argument that everyone's having, whether it be on this stream or across the internet in general, is the wrong one. Everyone's looking to point the finger at one specific person, and from everything I've seen,
I say blame them all.
But yeah, I was gonna say everything I've seen says that just about every safety protocol was violated.
Yeah.
First of all, I've read that the assistant director picked it up off of a prop cart, which why you have a functional firearm with live ammunition in it just laying on a prop cart, I boggles my mind.
Yeah,
where was that 24-year-old armor chick when they were calling for the gun? Again, apparently they were just doing it.
She should have been right there, making sure that it was empty, right
in
front of everybody.
Also, this was supposed to be like a setup shot. They were just looking to get the lighting and camera angles and everything. So they shouldn't have even had the functional firearm, whether it be loaded with live rounds, blank rounds, unloaded. They should have had like a rubber gun, an actual prop for that.
If they were just doing lighting testing, why was an actor there?
Well, no, because I guess they
were directing him on how they wanted to set the shot up.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like a lighting test. It was all right. This is where we're going to have the camera. This is how we want you to go. So like, because if that had been like an actual, if they were actually shooting, God, that's.
Well, yeah.
I know, right?
Not only that, but it takes time. It's staging. He's getting where.
Yeah, they're doing the blocking and everything for the actual shot.
So that's why they said he did it when he was practicing drawing. I think Dana Loesch was like, no, he was shooting. It's like, no. He probably thought they told him it was a cold firearm, so he just drew the pistol. That's 100% it. It's not. That's where the issue. That's where the issue comes from, because he again didn't know. He was there, told to go, and we're gonna set up this scene while we fix the lighting, and that way we can do the shoot in like 1 or 2 takes, and that's it. But again, blame everybody. Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see investigations finish just how many of the regulations they've had in place for 30 years going on, since the Brandon Lee shooting. I'd like to see just how many of these got violated, because I'm willing to bet you it's more than I can count on 2 hands at this point, from what I've seen.
It's probably all of them. They were all complacent. They were all just didn't care. And that's called negligence. That's criminal negligence, especially with a firearm.
Well, I think, didn't the armorer, wasn't she on a podcast? I could have been misinterpreting this, but wasn't she on a podcast saying that she wasn't sure she wanted the job?
Yeah, she was nervous about it because apparently this is only the second movie she's worked on as the armorer. The first one was a Nicolas Cage movie called The Old Way, which I don't know if that's finished filming, production, post, what. But supposedly, from what I've seen online, and again, take this with a grain of salt because it's just seeing it online, nothing verified, and you're getting it third hand now from me relaying it.
Dude,
but supposedly she was loading a gun, like just sitting on the ground, like didn't check for the possibility of debris or anything in the barrel, and then just handed it off to an 11-year-old actor.
Yeah, so it sounds like she was a piece of shit person.
It sounds like she got the job because of nepotism.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, that's how a lot of jobs out there get got. And again, but I find the hysterical response from some people just kind of goofy. Let's look at what really happened. What really happened is a lot of people fucked up.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
And then Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger. Like that's not to laugh, because, like I said, if I was the family of the person who died, I'd want everybody's head to roll. Somebody, you guys fucked up, and an innocent person had to die because of it. It's just... And
I don't want to be political about it, but I think if you had people that had a healthy respect for guns working on the set, this would not have happened.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Because
this person didn't have a respect for firearms.
I mean, you've got a bunch of breakdowns. You had the labor issue. Apparently, you had people walk off the set because they're working 16-hour days, plus having to drive an hour back and forth to go to their motel. So you're doing 18 plus hours a day. Then you've got the armorer, only her second job in the
industry.
In the job. Yeah. Only her second time doing the job. Then you've got the assistant director, who apparently he's fucked up before, according to the AP. And he broke protocols, just grabbing this gun. He didn't check it. He told Baldwin it was cold when it was hot. Why they had, live ammo in this thing when it was, apparently, again, I've read, third-hand information. I read that the armorer was using it to shoot, in between filming. So they had mixed ammo, live and blanks, and left one in the chamber. And then you've got Baldwin again. Adam, you're saying, he was told, this is where they say complacency kills. Yeah, sure, you can take their word for it as an actor. You can just see it as a prop. But if you have a respect for the instrument, you go ahead and you do that safety check yourself as well. And then if any one of these people had done that anywhere along the line, that woman would still be alive today.
I mean,
it's a failing on so many levels. It's again, I'm going to fall back on saying mind-boggling.
It's
I would say he probably should have checked, knowing that he hired, some right away, but no.
Jensen Ackles, the co-star, or I guess he's in some kind of co-starring role. He had done a convention for Supernatural, like a week before the shooting, and when he talked about, the process of going through, picking out the gun he was going to use and stuff for the movie, apparently it was just a very, very surface level safety briefing. Which that's probably something they should have had all of the principal actors who are going to be handling a firearm. They should have set them down like, all right, here are the 4 rules of gun safety. This, and this. Here's how you're going to check your weapon. Here's how you're going to, they should have set them all down and just gone through it. Maybe it would only had to take like an hour, 2 tops.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be in that role where you're handling a firearm,
no,
you should probably have them sit down and.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're both saying, but I just disagree. I'm sorry. And if everything was working the way it should have, yeah, I can understand him not double checking the fucking gun. Like that's 100% just my take on it. Like if everything was working, and again, he knowing that he's the producer, he should have known that he hired some shitty people to do the job. So yeah, maybe he should have done a second guess. But again, going by it's just basic Hollywood. I mean, you're handed a prop. You're gonna fucking just okay, yeah, there we go. I don't think you would sit there as an actor thinking that somebody would do that. Obviously, this person was shooting the gun on off time. Okay, I wouldn't think that somebody's going in and using some fire like when you're shooting John Wick or filming John Wick. I don't think that there was too many people who were going around shooting those guns. If they were, that's a whole nother issue in terms of people using items that are obviously supposed to be props. And I think with John Wick 2, they used a lot of CG flashing. I think that's why they were using blanks for this one, is because they still wanted to get the effect.
The realism,
yeah. So that I understand, but I'm just at a disagreement, especially with how length some people took with it.
I don't necessarily think you and I are at a disagreement, Adam. I think really it's just a Monday morning quarterbacking at this point.
Let's say no, I absolutely disagree. Yeah, there, Adam. If you are handling any firearm on a set or anything like that, I don't trust a single goddamn person unless I check the goddamn thing myself or it's checked right in front of me. And it's a revolver. All you gotta do, okay, is you open the cylinder, you push out the quick release
wheel,
so that you can see that there are bullets in the chamber.
I hate to say it, but I do have to. Well, actually, not all revolvers are side open.
Some are break in half, which are even easier to check.
There's gate loaders. You'd have to check each chamber individually, but I don't think it's a loader.
Gate loading, huh? Are we using black powder too?
No. The thing that killed Brandon Lee, if I'm not mistaken, was that there was a chunk left in there.
Well, what happened with Brandon Lee?
It was the
what happened with Brandon Lee? No. What happened with Brandon Lee is they had done a close-up shot of the revolver that Michael Massey was going to use to shoot Brandon Lee's character, Eric Draven. When they did that close-up shot of the revolver, they had rounds in it that had no powder, but they did have the bullet tips. Problem was that I think they still had a primer. So when he pulled the trigger, there was a pop that dislodged the bullet tip from the cartridge, and it stuck in the round. Then when they put the blanks in, that's of course double the powder, that pushed the bullet out of the barrel and shot Brandon Lee. This is the first movie I remember watching as a kid, so like I'm down on the Brandon Lee facts about the Crow.
But it wasn't just a blank casing. You know, there was something else in there. That there was a projectile part.
Yes,
you know,
because they failed to check the barrel for obstruction.
Yeah.
So.
And again, that's what the armor is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So no. I like I said,
Yes, this is a failure on multiple levels.
And if I was ever in a position like that, I probably wouldn't either, because I would sit there and be like, you know what? I trust the crew. I trust that they're willing to, I mean, not now, obviously, because we're hearing all these horror stories that are coming out of people, like the Ruby Rose shit. But I mean, back in the day, yeah, no, I would have been like, no, dude, I trust this guy. He was showing me how to fucking use it earlier. So obviously I trust that he knows that it's, not to fucking load it. Or at least to make sure it's empty.
I think in the position that Alec Baldwin's in is not just being an actor but a producer on that movie.
Well, that's what I mean.
He does hold a level of ability
he knew the
above and beyond what he would have if he had just been an actor.
Sure. Sure.
Because he was aware of the labor disputes. He was aware of, the change of film crew with them walking out, bringing in new people. I don't know if he was aware of the armor on her off time taking one of their fucking props to go actually, plinking.
No, but the walk off should have told him enough that the way the movie's going along is not getting the best type of people. The people who are working under the crew, they're not going to give a shit. So, this food touched the ground, man, I don't give a shit. The way that these people treat us, why the fuck should I care if, there's a little shit on their donut, So, I mean, that's the type of people that you hire when you don't run a tight ship.
I mean, to be fair, I would be the best gaffer I possibly could, but I would always have that attitude, Adam.
and to Quiz's points, like, yes, you should be checking the gun every time. I would if I was on set, not because I not trusting people. Again, I don't trust people, but I'd be checking it just because I like guns. They're cool.
There's that, and the other thing is that even with someone you trust, and there are some people that I do trust, but I still would not fire a gun given to me by them if I hadn't checked it myself. Mainly because it doesn't matter if you how much you trust someone. People make mistakes.
What if that AD had accidentally dropped the gun on the way to taking it to Adam Baldwin, and he didn't stop to check and make sure the barrel was unobstructed? There's some what ifs that could have happened.
Well, hold on. First off, like we're talking in circles. Okay, we just went right back to the same point. But the other thing is, you gotta remember that it's not he was hanging out all day and then he went to a shoot at like 5 o'clock. Dude probably woke up early in the morning, had to go do shit. Like, acting is an all-day type of thing. Like, I know, people, a lot of it is standing around too, yeah, but when he's sitting there, he's not even, again, like I said, in a position as an actor, you don't really think about that type of shit. You're just, oh my god, I gotta fucking do this shoot, and then I gotta go and do this, and then and as a producer, he's probably dealing with more shit that he has to that's on his mind. So yeah, and again, I'm not saying, that means that he's off the hook. No, fuck that guy. But I'm also not gonna be like, the people who are like, oh, Alec Baldwin hated Trump, so no, I gotta hate it. Relax.
Now we're getting to the core of your disagreement.
No, my disagreement, like I said, it lays with this. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Okay, it's just the same as people who are like, you know what? I say my prayers before every meal. Like, yeah, bullshit. There's some meals that you just fucking go and eat, okay? Like, don't tell me that you do something that no. So the idea of, and again, especially in this context of an actor going on set, sitting there like, shit, I gotta do this, and all right, okay, so I'm standing here and I gotta aim, and then, okay, that's what we do, bam, oh shit, there was the fucking bullet. Yeah, that's what happened. Like, it wasn't like, I don't see it like, somebody was loading the gun so that Alec Baldwin could look bad, or no, it's just a lot of it. Just
I don't think anyone thinks that. I think they're all.
Well, I've seen people making that claim.
Really?
What I have seen people like, what if? Well, no, there was one. It's like, what if it was like a secret Trump supporter?
Wasn't it a blue check mark or something?
Yeah, some ridiculously retarded take. But then there are other people's like, what if it was one of the people that walked off the set, went ahead and slid one in there, just said, like fuck you,
as a fuck you,
and enjoy your shitty donut,
Exactly, and that's what I mean. Like, I see it through both perspectives, so I can't really sit there and I just find the sanctimonious, like, oh my god, I gotta fucking make sure that everything's checked out, and just like, dude, no, not everybody's like that. I hate to say it, just it's not. I mean, I guess in a perfect world, sure, but I just don't see it, and especially to the extent of Timmy Pool's. If I was gonna drive a car, I'd expect it. It's like, do you work on cars? Do you know? Like, Like, does Alec Baldwin know about firearms? You'd hope he'd take some classes before so that he'd look like he does.
Yeah,
but
especially on set.
I think
he probably doesn't.
I think the big thing about this, aside from the fact that a woman died, is the fact that it was somebody as high profile as Alec Baldwin, who is a world famous shitbag. That's the reason why this is getting so much attention and so many people are giving their hot takes about it. It's because he's an asshole and we all know it. And this some of it's a bit of Schadenfreude that he's gonna have to live with the fact that he killed a person now,
and I think
with an instrument that he demonizes in his private life, but is more than willing to make money off of in his professional life.
Honestly, I think that's why I'm seeing the Schadenfreude, and I'm really not liking that. Like, I'm so sick of that shit that every time something happens, let's take gluttony and this. It's like, come on, man, it was a horrible mistake. I'm not writing them off. They should all be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But, dude, I would hate to have my wife shot from some asshole on a movie set because some other asshole didn't check the fucking gun. Like, it sucks. Like,
I mean, a part of me is like, part of me looks at this as like, this just reinforces the whole simulation theory.
What?
For me, yes, it does reinforce the simulation theory because, again, world-class shitbag who's anti-gun, vocally anti-gun, goes and shoots a woman to death who's married to a lawyer. He's gonna get so paid.
You can believe in irony without needing to go as far as simulation theory, right?
Oh no, this is just another brick in the road to simulation theory for me. There's been a bunch of shit beforehand that's got me walking the path on that.
Yep.
That's far be it from me to stand in the way of your psychoses.
Hey, it could be psychoses. It could just be me overdosing on antihistamines right now.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It could be spending half of my life, just high off my ass as well. There's
we got Adam to contend with that, so I'm just saying.
Hold on. There's I think it's growing. There's and it's Adam Jones. There's a Twitter page called World History Memes, I think it's called. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But today, I believe, he posted, or she, I don't know who it is, what it is.
They posted.
They posted.
Yeah. Zier posted. Let's not misgender.
The Ordos. They posted a image of a joint, and like the first half of it was like, oh man, history is really cool. And the middle half, I can't remember because I'm high. But then the last of it was the Rothschilds sunk the Titanic. And I was like, exactly, dude.
Well, wasn't Jacob Astor? He was on the Titanic. He died, right? He was against the
National League.
Yes, the central banking.
Yeah, or so they say. I guess
was it John Jacob Astor?
Now we're getting into the Titanic. You guys do know that it was a luxury cruise liner that might have some pretty high-profile people on it now, right?
Well, it was part of, I think, 3 vessels.
So how is this again? You don't need to believe in coincidence to be able to say that it's simulation theory. I mean, I just don't get that.
I don't know. Remember the Lusitania?
Lusitania.
Yeah. And the most you can convince me for simulation theory is that it's tied with the whole Berenstein Bears.
The Mandela effects.
Well, it's not Mandela. Well, I guess it would be Mandela, yeah. But it's still, I like to bring up the Berenstein thing because that's one that every American.
It's Berenstein. I don't care what they say.
And it's apparently always been Berenstain.
Then they need to spell it that way because
they
this
always
is America.
Have, apparently, again,
it's spelled Berenstein.
Again, with the whole thing, that's where this all comes down. Comes down from is everyone remembers Berenstein, but apparently it's always been Stain. Always has been. You've been reading it wrong your whole life.
I reject this premise.
Hey, quiz.
Yes.
You want to have another argument?
Oh no! About what?
Dude, so I picked up the expansion pack for the Switch.
Okay.
It's not bad. Oh, there's Mario Kart. Okay, yeah. I can't wait to play some Mario Kart Online, dude.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how they think it's a little overpriced.
Yeah. Icy's been mentioning that Americans pay way more than people in the EU do.
How much is it in the EU?
Apparently only 15 euros.
Shit.
What's that with the exchange rate?
Way less than what we're paying.
Ah.
I paid, it was like 30, came out to like 32 something.
Yeah.
For the up.
Yeah, whereas 15 euros would be $25 tops.
Yes, thank you, Wondering Lisa. It's not pronounced Frankenstein.
Oh, sorry, Frankenstein.
Berenstein. There we go.
No.
Okay, if those bears start speaking Austrian, I'm gonna open fire.
But I've got something else off topic. It's also entertainment news, but not related to that
So long
shooting.
as it's not getting political, because truth be told, I say it's even in the name of the stream.
Well, shit.
What is it?
It's more Dave Chappelle stuff.
Oh.
I mean, I don't even know. I haven't even watched the Dave Chappelle, stand-up special, so I don't. I don't feel like I can weigh in on this because I've not seen it.
I sat through one viewing of it. I enjoyed it. For me, it's not his best, but it was still good. For me, nothing he has done has topped Killing Him Softly, in my book.
Okay.
That was just solid hour of laughs for me when I watch it. I can still watch it right now, still laugh my ass off. But yeah, it was a good, especially considering the stuff that Johnny and I watch. This was just gold. So,
let's see, where are those streams put out? Is it on Johnny's channel?
Everything we do is on Johnny's channel.
Okay.
I'm too lazy to actually stream. I've done like 2 streams on my channel, and
lazy bastard.
Yeah, I just click links, man. I've said this. I don't know how long. If somebody wants me on a stream, just send me a link. I'll click it. I'll show up. If you're gonna wait around for me to do a stream, you better pack a lunch.
So yeah,
it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, you know what that means. All those people that are running keyloggers and Trojans and backdoors. Hate Camel will click that link if you send it to him.
Well, I gotta know you first. Like I'm not clicking links from like some Nigerian prince or some bullshit. No.
Aww,
you actually have to.
But if you send him $10,000, he'll send you $1 million.
Yeah. No. Like somebody tried to pull that with me. Like they sent me a check from the Ohio lottery. Like, hey man, you won the lottery in Ohio. Here's like $4,000 as a deposit or whatever. It's like, I've never even been to Ohio, so at this point in my life, I'd never even entered a lottery yet either. And like my mom, she's like, well, why don't you just go ahead and cash your checks? Like, because then I'll owe the bank $4,000 when this check bounces.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Dude, I don't even get the lotto, dude. I went to get gas today after work, and I saw this lady with it looked like she had 8 pamphlets, but they were all the lotto tickets. I think
the scratch off tickets, or
no, whatever the red one is, where I think you pick the numbers. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Oh, apparently Johnny's still waiting for me to start streaming more. It's like, again, pack a lunch, dude. You better than anybody else should know.
You know what?
Johnny's gonna wait.
You know what that could have been, Adam?
What's
now
that?
I'm thinking about it. It makes a lot of sense. If she was part of an office pool, and everyone would give her the money, and she'd go and put in lottery tickets for that kind. I've heard of people doing that kind of shit all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, but this gas station, there's a lot of like people who go in there and they'll buy a bunch of scratch offs, and they even have signs that like you got to go scratch it off over in this area because they would just sit there and buy a scratch ticket and then stay in the line and just scratch it, and people are like, dude, I'm just here to get gas.
Yeah,
dude.
Line.
Oh, so help me God, if I'm standing in line and somebody just starts scratching off their scratch offs at the counter that they just bought, I don't care if there's like 5 people in front of me. I'm going to the front of that line and I'm just hip checking that motherfucker out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous, and we need to bring back public shaming for shit like that. Like, I'm not opposed
he's buying
to
scratch
cancel
off
culture.
tickets. He's already humiliated enough.
No, those people need the shaming the most because they lack shame.
Yeah, I think.
Trust me, I've seen these people in the wild. I have actually served them their fucking vices. They don't have any shame. You know, they need to be, you know, reintegrated into society via shaming.
Yeah.
Our local place makes them go outside. Well, that's probably smart, Red Feather. Yeah. So it will save them from me, like, you know, abusing their customers in the store if I ever see them doing that shit.
Oh, they don't go to the spot because they tell them to literally like go into the other side of the fucking place to go, you know, do your scratching. There are people who will just, you know, they'll move away from the counter a little bit and then, you know, just still buy the fountain drink. So
yeah, still being in the way though.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get a slushy, yeah, good luck because that dude needs to do his crossword puzzle.
Well, this is probably why I don't last very long in the service industry like that, because, you know, when I would have to sell lottery tickets, it's like that like that Jeff Dunham Muppet, like, you know, welcome to Walmart, get your shit and get out. You know?
Yeah, I can't. That's why I like doing what I'm doing, where I'm just repairing shit. You know, I don't have to talk to nobody. But it does get annoying when you get the new people and they're like, "Hey, so what do you think about?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Nobody told me how to do shit. I just came and started working on things. Start reading the manuals. Go figure it out, buddy." I mean, I'm not that mean, you know.
Figure it out, buddy.
I'm the only guy that did, for some reason.
They didn't
I probably
train
should.
at all?
No, I probably should have, you know, because they put me in there and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, just, you know, work on these." And you know, I knew a bunch of them from my job before, but I probably should be more like, you know, go figure it out, because now the old guy is like, "Hey, could you help me pick up this UPS?" And I'm sitting there, I'm like, just like, there's other people. You walk past 2 other people to get to me. Like, go. And then I got this broad from fucking third party. She keeps sending me the phones that are like, it looks like somebody, you know, pile drived them. And she's like, "Do you think you could fix these?" And I'm assuming it's a joke, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know damn well we don't order parts for these. We send them to the warranty. Like, why are you sending me this shit?
Maybe you should just do like like that chant from like Indiana Jones, like Kalima, Kalima.
I don't understand it, man.
No, I would love getting complaints when I worked in like the service industry, because it would be hilarious listening to my managers or whatever try to, you know, read out what somebody had complained about, you know, because, you know, somebody called the number, right? They gave some half-ass recitation of what I said. Somebody is on the other end of the line transcribing this half-ass recitation, and then they're passing it along back down the chain to my supervisor, what have you. And they're like, "Did you tell a customer not to ask you where such and such was because you just, quote, work here?"
Shit.
It's like, yeah, I said that to a customer who's a regular, who knew I was fucking joking, who would never call me in for that. some Karen overheard me joking with a regular customer, and they called in on their behalf because they're a bitch.
Gotta love it when that happens.
See,
Best part was like when I was like 17, a guy called in on me when I worked at Taco Bell to report me for assaulting him.
Oh, did he know he was talking to you?
Well, no. I didn't get this call. Right. This went to somebody higher up the food chain at Taco Hell, and it gets filtered back down to my store manager.
Okay.
And she'd actually been on shift with me at the time this supposed event happened. Here's the thing: it was Thanksgiving Day.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you would think of all of the days in the United States of fat, this would be the one day that people wouldn't be bum rushing Taco Bell for fucking burritos and shit. You would be wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're eating their dinner at like 2-3 in the afternoon, so they're driving back home, and they say, "Oh, I'm hungry. Let's get some Taco Bell or whatever." It's on the highways they're driving. So I've got this asshole from Texas who's got a diesel dually pickup. He comes to the drive-thru. He's got, I don't know how many people in his cab with him, but they sound fucking drunk. And I'm on the headset doing the drive-thru, and I asked the guy to turn off his engine so I could actually hear him instead of the clattering of the diesel. That pisses him off right from the jump. And, Cynic, you might want to get that checked out, dude. That's not a good sign.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But, so he's mad at me already because I asked him to turn his truck off. I get his order. He ordered like 4 grande meals, which they don't have grande meals on the Taco Bell menu anymore. They have party packs.
Yeah.
But back in the day, the grande meal was like 10 items. You can choose between, tacos, burritos, and I think Mexican pizzas. Which they don't have Mexican pizzas anymore either. That's a shame. It really is. But, so this dude, I get his order in, 4 grande meals, so that's 40 items right there. He pulls around to the first window. There's a guy at the first window to take his money. Apparently, he tries to pull that guy through the window. He comes up to the second window. Guy in the first window didn't tell me shit. He's got a headset on too. He could have easily pressed a button and said, "Hey man, this guy thought I was you and he tried to assault me." Didn't say a word about it. So I go to hand this guy his food, right? Mind you, I've got other customers in line. Go to hand this guy like the 4 bags of shit that he just ordered, and as I'm handing him the last one, he grabs a hold of my left wrist and tries to pull me out of the fucking window towards his car because he thought I was being rude to him. Well, what he didn't realize is I'm a righty, and so when he goes to pull me, even though I was off center, I still managed to reach through my window and his window and clock him right in the side of the jaw. And he drove off. But yeah, he had the nerve to call up Taco Bell and complain to, human resources, whatever. What he didn't realize is when he drove off, I got his license plate.
Well, good. Yeah, he tried to assault you.
Exactly. So, like, at this point, I was like, well, he's from Texas. I'm not even going to bother. By the time we get the cops over here, get it reported, whatnot, he'll be back across state lines. Nothing's going to happen. But I still had his license plate number. And so my manager, she tells me what the head office has said. She's like, "Don't worry, I told him what happened. You're cool." I was like, well, here's the thing. I still got this asshole's license plate number. So why don't you do me a favor? Have them call him back and just read back his fucking license plate to him and see how fast his tune changes. But yeah, there's a reason why I don't work well in the service industry. The person who came up with the phrase "the customer's always right" worked in marketing.
Yes, they did.
I know for a fact.
It's definitely
most
a
of the time
phrase. Yeah.
Half the time, 50-50 toss up. Half the time, the customer's fucking wrong, or they don't even know what they want in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Most problems can be solved with a simple method. Give your service employees the basic respect any human being deserves.
Oh man, I go to a drive-thru, I go to a restaurant, sit down, fast food, doesn't matter. I am as sweet as diabetes to whoever is serving me. I want them to give my compliments to the cooking staff. I will kiss so much ass at a restaurant because I don't want you spitting in my food. Or worse, because I've seen it done. That's right, Lisa. The customer is usually a dumbass.
Oh shit! I forgot to jump in the chat. Jump in the chat. Look about the other one.
But back to what I was saying earlier. This Dave Chappelle shit, I'm willing to bet it's going to last longer than the Afghan withdrawal did in the media.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Johnny, you want to take another bet? I mean, you got me on the Brandy Love one, but I think I've got a winner with Dave Chappelle.
Well, I don't know. Is it going to be his last stand-up special for a while, or?
I think this is he's I think he completed his contract with Netflix. This was the last stand-up special he was doing for them, and yeah, I think he's stepping away from doing specials for a while. He said that in the special, like he's gonna go away for a bit. You know, he's got the fuck you money. He's world famous. You know, he can just do whatever he wants.
I would say because of that knowledge and the market left behind being the last one. Yeah, it might stick around in the media much longer. You'll have people making cases for it, like in Kotaku articles, for like years afterwards.
Oh shit! Speaking of Kotaku, you see, fucking JonTron's talking about Fauci.
Yes.
And
that's part of the reason why I named the show tonight what I did.
Well, no, not to talk about the Fauci thing, but I think
just the JonTron thing is what it is. 'Cause I read so many of those replies, and people are just real serious Destiny dick writers.
Oh yeah,
always bringing up that shit.
What was it? I think it was Sophie Norris. I'm butchering the name, and it probably isn't her, but
Sophia Norwitz.
Yeah. She was like, so who's going to be the first video game journalist to talk shit about JonTron?
The only thing I know about JonTron...
Movie Bob.
The only thing I know about JonTron is from like a Sargon stream before any of that shit blew up that apparently made people hate JonTron.
Yeah.
I just remember Dr. Lehman trying to convince JonTron that Hitler was a werewolf. And he's just like, what? What? Huh?
Well, to be fair, I think this is the first time JonTron ever talked to... First and only time JonTron probably ever talked to, Dr. Lehman.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Lehman. I said Mr., didn't I? I did not give him his proper honorific, sorry.
Honorifics, yeah.
Yeah. But now he's like, so, JonTron, my dude, did you know that Hitler was a werewolf? He's like, what? That's literally the only time I've ever heard JonTron speak about anything.
I forgot. Yeah, what was his issue? Didn't he say something, or?
I have no idea.
Well,
I don't really care.
It was all because of the video or the stream he did with Destiny, where they had a debate.
Oh, well, that was so long ago.
What do they even debate
always
about?
Bring it up. Always. I don't know, just whatever fucking Destiny can try to, bait people into saying something bad about themselves.
I've only watched one full Destiny debate, conversation, whatever, and that was with Medicare.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, it was hilarious. guess Destiny thought that Medicare was like a Trump supporter going in.
Oh.
He's like, so tell me, what do you like about Trump? What is it that's got you liking Trump, huh, man? And Jim, just like, I don't know, man. I guess I just like a president that's got a really big dick. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be good. That's the only time I've actually sat down and listened to Destiny for any length of time. I usually only ever see him brought up in clips, and I think that's really only time I ever see that is like on the Stitch and App streams on Sundays.
Yeah, I think I've only seen Destiny on the Stitch and Adam stream.
But now, the reason I brought up Dave Chappelle was because apparently he's had a something to say about with like the Netflix walkout and everything. And a video has come out of him, on stage talking about it. He said, and this is from Variety. It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees of Netflix, and I refused. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it. Although I am confused what we would be speaking about, Chappelle said in the video. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. It seems like I'm the only one that can't go into the office anymore. I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames it as me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say, Chappelle said. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been loving and supportive, so I don't know what all this nonsense is about. He also apparently spoke about an upcoming documentary he has about his summer 2020 comedy tour, and now like that film is nobody wants to touch it now. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. When this controversy came out about The Closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet. But the reason why I saw about Dave trending today is like he had 3 demands to be met for him to speak with the transgender community. The first one was like, I think he said like he would dictate the time and place. Oh no, the first one was they had to watch The Closer from beginning to end. You could not come to this discussion unless you've watched it, the whole thing. The second one was like, it will be at a time and place of my choosing. Like, you will not summon me to this discussion. And he said, and the third one is that you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. I was like, I'm there, Dave. Sign me up. I got all 3 of the boxes checked. I want to be a fly on this wall.
Have either of you seen his the videos of his stand-up when he, like, after the whole Dave Chappelle show shit went down, and he was kind of explaining a little bit about it in terms of like they kept telling him to like not talk ill of black people.
No. I believe they said, you can't say that British word for cigarettes. You can't talk bad about about gay people. Like you can't use that word because you're not one of them. It's like, well, I use the N word and I'm not one of those either.
Yeah, he was told to temper, what he was doing, and he didn't want to do that, and that's pretty much like what started his whole exodus from the thing. The other one was the contract dispute, I think, where they technically owned his name or some shit like that. It was like HBO or something. But it's just funny that it comes right back around, and it's like, dude, he's fighting it again because it is corporate interest. Like, it's not the fans that are telling him to not do it. It's these people are just a tool for these corporate. I don't know why they're doing it with this one. I mean, yeah, I saw the special and he did a lot more talking in this one as opposed to making jokes. Not gonna lie. At least what I saw.
Well, like I said, it's not my favorite of his specials. My favorite so far has been Killing Him Softly. Because that was just packed with jokes. But I mean, the dude had something to say, and he made it funny in this one. He was telling jokes while he was making his statements. He was doing good storytelling with. What I think is really funny is that it seems like all the people who actually watched it liked it. They may not have thought it was his favorite like me, or they may have thought it was just hilarious. And all the people who hate it didn't even bother watching it, like George Takei. I loved seeing his tweet. Like, well, what if he had made jokes about Jews or Asians or Muslims? It's like
it would have been hilarious.
Well, here's the thing. I quote tweeted George. I was like, so who wants to tell George? Because he made fun of Jews and Asians in the special. George didn't bother fucking watching it. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Dave's a Muslim too. He's made jokes about Muslims before.
I don't know.
No, yeah, he's a Muslim.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just not a big part of his act, and he doesn't talk about his faith a lot, personally. So.
No, because he's a professional entertainer. That's why it's interesting seeing this battle take place, because it's like, dude, they tried to take him down before, and they failed. He came back a lot stronger. You guys are trying it again, and it's not gonna work out.
Yes, Doku, that was one of his bits in the closer. So. But I mean, he also made jokes about Asians with COVID and all the Asian hate crimes, where it's a bunch of black people beating up on Asian people.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I mean, like 2 of the 3 that George mentioned in his tweet, mentioned in the special. He didn't even bother watching it, and he's gonna sit there and bitch about it. I think that's probably one of the biggest problems with why this is gonna keep going, is that the people who hate it haven't even bothered to watch it, and they don't mind not having seen it before they run their mouth.
And they're perfectly comfortable by running their mouth having not seen it. And
they're perfectly comfortable speaking from a place of ignorance.
Yeah,
they will be nonplussed if you even bother to point out they're ignorant of what they're speaking about.
It's called contempt prior to investigation, and it's one of the worst possible things you can be accused of, or at least it used to be.
See, I do not have Instagram, so I'm not going to watch that video now. Apparently, it's got to be available.
Wouldn't you call it being closed-minded and possibly bigoted? A thing that the left has blamed the rest of the country for decades.
All right, step away for a second. I'll be right back.
I was actually going to close down the shop.
It is kind of interesting that when you listen to what these protesters were saying, a lot of it was pretty kind of just like generic.
Yeah.
We ask for this and we demand that, and it's like,
and
what the fuck are you talking about?
The impetus for even doing it in the first place, the protest they're trying to make, they're not even talking about it. They're just saying, trans rights or whatever.
Yeah, but and see, this is the thing. I swear this type of rhetoric has been going on since fucking 9/11. Every protest has just become, it gets dumbed down to like some generic phrase where everybody just says and repeats the same fucking thing, and it just changes. So before it might have been gay rights, but now it's trans rights. And it's like, what the fuck are you people talking about? what you are saying is making zero sense, and it didn't back then. You know, like I mean, it makes sense. It's just it's one of those weird things where it's like, nah, we want this. It's like, well, you have it. It's right there. So what are you complaining? No, but I want you to give it to me. It's like, it's right there. Just go grab it. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's I don't know. All right, so yeah, we're gonna close down the zoo here. We're gonna close the zoo because it's been over an hour, and I think everything's winding down here. You can hear how stuffed up I am, but
the edibles are finally kicking in, aren't they, Quiz?
Well, they are, yeah, but
oh,
like,
dude,
I ain't seen that paintbrush move in a little while.
Well,
have you ever tried the neti pot?
No. No.
That looks so horrifying. I don't know if I'd ever be able to do it.
Oh, that thing like where you stick it up your nose and what?
And it's like warm water or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just lie down. I think that's probably the best thing for it. But and try to sleep. NyQuil works, but yeah, we've been even in the zoo. We're gonna close it up now. So yeah, take care, everyone. Zoo's closed.
No butts, chew.